I ain't gonna listen to Dr. Phil because I don't like his ass. But that the Ilhan girl, um, the United States of America does business with countries from where her people are from that mass murder 8 million Arabs for cheap oil and cell phones because their environment is more conducive to rapid decomposition of the death and decay into the oil pockets. Okay. The only other place they do that is through the migratory patterns across here, and where the girls are raped to death in the brothels on the Rio Grande Valley and in Mexico. And they probably rape boys to death too. I wouldn't be surprised. What they do is they what they told me about it. They told me about it in Sierra Vista. They chip them with the things they use to chip animals. Okay. Yeah, it's almost like circumcising a girl's clitoris in Sudan or the Ethiopia, places like that. Stuff like that. You know. I don't celebrate war. Like I said, when I was a kid, it was exciting because I was a little boy. Pow, pow, cowboys to girls, right? Then when I got older, I was like, this is dangerous. And unless somebody professional doing it to entertain people is doing it, it gets people killed, burns down houses and things. And other things in our country, they shoot off guns to celebrate, and bullets go up and come down and can kill people. Yay, let's celebrate murder and death and war. And I told people, the people that migrate here from places where the people were blown up with, Tony Stark's Industries stuff, and they come here and it's 4th of July. It puts people through PTSD. And another thing it puts people through PTSD is people that live in Compton and Queensbridge and and Queenie Bean House projects in Chicago, if they're still there, and stuff. And so it puts people through PTSD. My dog put him through PTSD. He'd go in the bathroom, climb in the shower, and say, they shoot in, Earl. They shooting, you crazy. You gonna get shot. Zeke was always like that. You crazy. When he got older and got more death, it was kind of nice for him because he could sleep out here. It's like it's the 4th of July and he's sleeping on the couch. And then after a while, he couldn't sleep on the couch anymore. He got too old to climb up and down on the couch. We couldn't hear. But I kind of felt like he lost his hearing, but it was a vacation from they shooting, they crazy, Earl, they crazy, they shooting. He was a good dog. He hated living next to Fort Huachuca when I took him down to Rocks, down by the fort, and they were really shooting, and he'd run back home like, these fuckers are crazy, what are you trying to do, you getting my ass killed? Zeke, he walked me back home. He ran me back home. You crazy motherfucker, you gonna get me shot. He was a good dog. Yeah, he was a character, old Zeke. But wow, watching people do what they do. So your money's better than the old money, huh? New money? New money, new money, new money. Donald Trump's in over his head. And so is Tom Homan. And so are the Tom Tom Club. And Biden was in over his head, but Biden knew it. Francis knew it. Leo and Trump, you always pick the dumbest motherfucker you can to try to continue the business when it's obvious the business is going right. So it's crazy. I ain't paying that close attention. I like listening to Dr. Phil, the man's moron. Because of him and his Dr. Phil trained lady. Oh, it was titillating. Okay, and then lady called me a pervert because I was going to report Brad Barnett to his first shirt because I told him, you are masturbating on the computer and my 7 and 5-year-old are watching. Please do not. You tell her, no, I cannot masturbate with you unless you do it in a computer in a room that the kids can't see in. Okay? Tell her to get a laptop from work, go upstairs, go to do something. But Natalie had too much Linda in her, Mrs. Kravitz, and I would always tell Natalie, don't follow her. Give her privacy. Don't go listen. Don't go spy. And she'd always go listen and spy and then tell me about it. And I was like, I don't want to know. Don't you want to know she's screwing around on you? No. Because I'm not David Rockefeller. I'm not the FBI. I'm not the CIA. I'm not Homeland Security. And I'm not the Cold War. The spy that came from the dark side to the light side. Forgive debt and trespass, love one with eternal faithful peace. Nida mía no quiero saber. Forgive them 7 times upon infinity. Who's the spirit of your daddy? Thank you. You're welcome. Gosh damn, I'm tired, right? But I'm on a roll tonight. We know that. I got Lopez in my head, and I said, when I was checking the mail, I actually talked to her and briefly to Janet Jackson. I said, when you guys walk and talk with me, you're going to feel it. You're going to see it, like when I walked to Fred Young and his knees were bad because of all that pro football and stuff. Well, I have this crap that's going to take a while to heal in my leg from chemical poisoning from your business partners. No, I know, the Republicans did it. Okay? And if the Harlem Globetrotters didn't have the Washington Generals, no one would show up to pay money to watch the show. Right? So, somebody knocked Charlie Chris on his ass because he's embarrassing the shit out of Meadowlark Lemon, right? You're funny. Meadowlark. That's what happened. Charlie Chris. I wouldn't have gotten mad. I would have been like, no, this is working, man. He's 5'8" and he's lighting you up. Right? It's funny. You're the clown princess of basketball. You should have worked it into the act. It's like, who is this guy? He didn't last. No. UB Brown showed up. That's awesome. Okay. We need to put that guy on the roster. And Charlie Chris ended up playing 8 years in the NBA. He could get his shot off on dudes 6'5" anywhere. Another Calvin Murphy. Calvin Murphy is 5'9". He was a lot like Charlie Chris. Yeah. Really quick, developed a really good penchant for having a mid-range game that other people could not stop. You could just get in between it. Like Doug Flutie at quarterback, right? He could just get in and get to those little hidden spots. And, I was about 6 feet tall. And, I was probably just as quick. I was probably quicker than Charlie Chris and, faster. As quick. They were probably just as quick like Reggie Parrott. But Reggie was 5'4" or 5'5". But I could jump to the moon when I needed to. I really did it. When I did it, it was like, did I do that? Jesus, did I do that? He would not let me. And then everybody, it's you, it's your alter ego. Yeah, past, present, future operate at the same time. I understand that. Okay? And then in those last 2 video feeds, that the humility of faith in the soul transcends the philosophy of the mind, which is discussed in the Sir of the Greeks. And people don't, it's the intuitive mind and the scientific mind. Okay, the intuitive mind accepts infinite glory and submits to faith in infinite glory, which transcends proof of science. Because proof of science does not always remain consistent, depending on the relative activity of the acceptance of faithful actions, behaviors, whatever you want to call them. Right? So it's kind of interesting. But I'm feeling, I'm not feeling. I'll meet Jennifer soon. We'll talk. Amy Winehouse, man, just friends. And I'm not a train wreck, and I ain't, I'm gonna recover. Survive, stop, eliminate, just recover, and you will recover. We just talked about. Oh, I want to talk. Look, because she's a pain in the ass. Look. No, I don't have ego problems, and I'm not saying you do. I understand you're a receiver and I'm a transmitter. Okay, but I've been abused to hell and back. Okay, Well, you can tell me who you loved, who the bad people killed that you missed too. Like you already know about Michelle, so yeah, okay. And so, and mom, okay. And you can tell me about your friends that got killed standing up for the Lord's Prayer. I'm being obnoxious. I'm real good at that. And I do that all the time. I understand I do that all the time, Jennifer. Yeah. I get this thing that drove Casper Smart crazy. It's like, this guy, man, it's like, does he really know who I am? I wonder if James Bordeaux knows who I am. No, I'm more interested if James knows who I am. I like James. He's salty. No, I like James. He's funny. He's a distracted. He needs to stay distracted. That's what keeps him comfortable in this hell. No, he's a good kid. He just stays comfortable in this hell. And when he immerses himself in this college football world, that he can immerse himself well because he has this good personality. People like him. Okay? And James likes people. Okay? And so he immerses in this world and he sees the good in everybody. Even selfish jocks that are assholes. He can still see, he brings out the good in people. He's just that type of a kid. He's a good kid. Okay. And because he has a podcast and he can make you, oh, whoa, this guy's a star. And people can start paying attention to you. More people will pay attention to you for your NIL money if James knows who you are and likes you. And then does a dynasty with you, right? Or something like that. So he can improve your stock and improve your brand because he's just that type of a kid, you know. So he's a good kid. And so I like James Bordeaux. I will meet him someday. Hey, James, what's up? Okay. I'm going to abolish NIL. It is so much more fun to play sports without money. Money sucks, man. Money ruins everything. Okay. And it's like, here, fight over this carrot. Just share the carrots. I'm going to get more carrots than you because that bitch needs 37 carrots to fuck. Yeah, then you're going to be like the dad on the Windwalker and get in trouble with the guy with the eye from the crow and then the other motherfucker. And then your Tashina going to get her head broke on a rock. And then when your kid's going to get kidnapped and raised by your enemy. But you just know. You won't get to spend any time with your other son until you go off into the spirit world to be with Tashina in the clouds, which doesn't fucking happen. So stop making that shit up. Okay? We'll be back. Okay. I don't know if I'm going to talk to Max's enemy's mom more. Yeah, probably. Why? Because she's probably going to talk to me while I'm loading this thing, because she does that sometimes. Like, God dang. I'm going to let you talk to Little Hawk and to Fun and, you know, tell them there's this woman. She's kind of crazy. You guys want to talk to her? Okay. Go talk to her. Thank you. You're my bros. Okay. Talk to Little Hawk and Tishna. Fun. Okay. And then we'll get back with you. I love you guys, all right? I'm just being silly. Maybe I'm not. I don't know. Find out later. When I talk to her, it's like, did they talk to you? What'd they say? You're batshit crazy. Oh, shut up. Okay, I love you guys, all right? Peace.